Alright, I've been wanting to make this video for a long time. Watch me edit 5 favorite photos from my trip to Iraq last winter, and welcome back to yet another extra special Nabil Qasim video.
Do something cool! How was that, bro?
Last winter, I traveled to the Middle East for a couple months, and my flight out happened to be in one of Michigan's worst snowstorms that year. Shout out to my friend Faisal for driving me straight through the blizzard to get me to the airport on time, and thankfully I was able to make it to Iraq without a hitch. I spent most of my time there reconnecting with extended family and experiencing Iraqi culture in Baghdad, which is the capital city of Iraq. My extended family are people who I had never really met in person before, other than when I was about 4 years old and my family had a short trip to Iraq back then. This was my first time meeting them in the flesh as a grown adult, which was a really cool experience getting to meet my aunt, uncle, and cousins while I was there. Before this trip, I had recently acquired a brand new Sony a7 IV camera body along with a Sony 24-70 G Master 2 lens. I was super stoked to start using this combination to take photos and videos. But I decided to leave it at home for the sake of if anything were to happen to it while I was traveling, I'd be super disappointed. Instead, I opted for my trusty Sony a6000 camera body and had gotten this new 18-105mm f4 power zoom lens by Sony. And this happened to be the perfect combination for me, given the wide focal range that you can get with this lens, and it's all internal to add to that. And because this is a crop sensor camera, the form factor is a lot smaller, so it wouldn't draw as much attention. A lot of people in these countries were wary of professional looking cameras, so having this out all the time was a little bit better than if I were to have my Sony a7 IV with the G Master 2 lens attached. And on top of that, I was able to film my cousin's wedding video with this lens, given the variety of focal range that it had. So this turned out to be the perfect solution for me while I was traveling. So without any further ado, let's get into the 5 photos that I'll be editing in this video. Alright, so first we're gonna pop into Adobe Lightroom, and I'm gonna select this first photo we have here. This is a photo of a man making some traditional Iraqi style bread, which comes in the shape of these little diamonds. And this was from the bakery that was right next to where our house was in Baghdad, Iraq. I got a special tour of this place, which was a pretty small place actually, but they were putting out a lot of bread, which was pretty impressive. Now, I snapped this photo as he was shaping the dough into their forms, and right before these loaves were then thrown into the open flame brick oven to be baked. So here we have the before, and this is the after. Before and after. Okay, moving on to the next photo here. So this is a photo I took. You can see here my cousin is standing at the top of these water wheels. This was taken in a town or village called Heat, and it's known for these water wheels because these are some of the oldest but yet still functioning water wheels in the world. And you can hear these things, they're all made out of wood, and these giant logs rotating by the power of the river that they lie on. And as the water pushes it through, it's making this eerie creaking noise. Getting on with this edit. So this was before the edit, and this was after. Okay, moving on to the next photo here. We have a man sitting in his truck. So I snapped this photo from the car. Got a really interesting angle with the telephoto lens. You can see the compression bringing all the elements in this photo so close together, but also really showcasing the depth of all of the details in this photo. This is the before, and then this is the after. Ooh, that's nice. On to our fourth photo here. This is a photo that I took. This was on New Year's Eve in the center of Baghdad. Everybody was congregating here, and it was wild. People were shooting off these Roman candles like from everywhere. Just fireworks that people were buying off the street. They didn't have any organized fireworks show for this. It was just a free-for-all with everyone's fireworks, and you can see everyone had their phones out getting the fireworks on video. Now we have the before of this image and the after. And I believe as I was shooting these photos, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't underexposing everything, because for one, the A6000 doesn't do great in low light, and two, because it was low light, you want to try to overexpose just so you don't lose out on some of your details, because it's always easier to bring the exposure down in the edits. For our last photo, the fifth and final photo, I took this photo from the side of the road in El Mansour, Baghdad, which is one of the busier areas of the city, and is known for all of its shops and jewelry shops and fashion shops and great food and everything like that. It's an awesome neighborhood to be around. This was on the night that Iraq had made it to the finals of the Arab World Cup. I shot this photo from the side of the road as people were honking their horns in heavy traffic with the Iraqi flag sticking out, and people hanging out of their windows screaming and cheering and yelling out of pure joy that Iraq had made it to the World Cup finals. And so it was really cool to see just the pride that everybody had in their soccer team. I really like this image because it has some good foreground with the fuel canisters in the back of the truck here, and then with the giant Iraqi flag hanging out of this car being held by this man. That's 5 photos. Thank you for sitting along and watching me edit these. I think the one thing to know as you're editing your travel photos is not to be too afraid from getting creative with the colors, but also knowing that sometimes the smaller adjustments go a long way, and you don't always have to get too crazy with the edits. Depending on what you're trying to accomplish with the photo, you have all of the tools of Adobe Lightroom at your disposal. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you'll tune in for the next one. Bye-bye.